boys and girls, it's Miss Rossi. Today we're going to create a haunted house. What you will be needing today is a white piece of paper. You're going to want to look at our haunted house idea sheets on my Canvas page. So it is a file with a bunch of different house ideas and designs for your haunted house. You're going to need a pencil to draw with, an eraser, something to trace your drawing with. I'm going to use a Sharpie today, but you can use whatever you have at home. If you want to use a dark colored crayon, colored pencil, marker, or pen, anything will work. And we're going to need something to color our picture in. I'm going to use crayons, but you can use whatever you have at home to color with. I'm going to get rid of that label because I don't need it anymore. And the first thing you can do is look through our haunted house idea sheet to get an idea of what kind of house you want to draw. You can draw your own house and add haunted details, or you can come up with a house out of your imagination. It does not have to be one from our packet. I think I'm going to draw this house, which starts off looking like kind of a normal house, and then we're going to add all different kinds of decorations in the yard and on the house to make it look more haunted. So just like when we're drawing anything, you want to picture what kind of shapes you're going to need and what kind of lines you're going to use to make up what you are drawing. So I'm going to break down my house into simple shapes. It's already done for me in the different steps where I'm starting with a rectangle, adding things like triangles and other trapezoids or four-sided figures, and just building off of those, layering more shapes on top of each other to end up with my finished house. I'm going to start towards the bottom of my paper, and I want my house to be on a hill, so I'm just going to do a big curved line going all the way across, and I'm leaving some extra space down below so I can add decorations in my yard. If you want to add a lot of things in your yard, you can always make your ground line much higher, and you'll have more space to draw down there, but you won't have as much space to draw your house, so it's up to you what you want yours to look like. I'm also holding my paper so it's standing up vertically, meaning it is tallest going up and down. That is so I can make a nice tall house. If you want to hold your paper horizontally, longest from left to right, you can do that and you will end up with more of a longer and shorter house, but it's up to you. Now I'm going to start following along with those steps on my paper. Now, since we're drawing a haunted house, our lines don't have to be straight and they don't have to be perfect because we want it to look a little spooky. So I'm going to let my lines get a little wiggly as I'm drawing. And I just started with 3 different rectangles, a small one along the bottom, a larger one in the middle, and then a skinny one on top. Now I'm going to make my house taller. I'm going to add that roof by bringing those corners in. And then I'm going to add a second floor by going straight up towards the sky to add one section. And then I'm going to get a pointed roof section over here. Now I'm just going to add another rectangle up at the top and make that roof into a trapezoid. And then same thing over here, I'm just going to finish off my roof. There we go. And I'm just going to bring that line down. I'm going to add a little chimney up here using some more rectangles. And I want to add some windows. So I'm going to have a big square window in this section and a big round one up here, another rectangle down here, and then let's add our door. And now I'm just going to go in and add some extra little details, adding some shingles on my roof, and I'm going to add frames on my windows and some lines in there that are going to be a little crooked. I think this window I want to be broken. So I'm going to add a frame by repeating that same shape in there. And then to make it look more like a broken window, I'm going to do a big zigzag line on both sections to create some broken pieces that are missing. If you want to draw some scary monsters or things peeking out of your windows, that's a great way to make your house look more haunted. So you can really take your haunted house design and make it look however you want. You can add any kinds of details that are school appropriate and kind of get crazy with your haunted house. I want to create an open door here on my house. So the way that I'm going to do that is I already have my rectangular door frame, and I'm going to come down from one corner with a diagonal line and then draw my rectangle down as a diagonal. So I have a diagonal line on top and on the bottom, and then just a regular old vertical line to connect them. I'm going to erase anything that I can see through it, and then I am going to repeat that same shape again, but a little larger, to give the door some thickness to show the width of it, and make a little oval doorknob in there. And now you have a spooky looking open door on your house. I'm going to add some decorations now in the yard. I'm going to do some lines on my house to show some more texture. Maybe your house is brick, maybe it is an old wooden mansion or a log cabin, so you can show that with the kinds of different lines and designs you draw on your house. And now I'm going to add some decorations in the yard. So I kind of have a plain looking house so far, so I think my decorations in the yard are going to help me make it look more haunted. I'm also going to add things in the sky to help bring my house to life. I'm going to have my haunted house picture at night, so I'm going to draw some clouds and the moon up there, and then I'm just going to decorate my yard. I'm going to have a wiggly path leading up to the front door. Again, as we're layering different shapes and designs on top of each other, you want to make sure to erase whatever's in there so you can't see through it. So I just added that bush in the front, and I erased the parts of the house that I could still see. I'm going to make a big keep out sign in the foreground of my page. So since it is in the foreground, it is closest to the bottom, it is closest to me, and it is going to be pretty big compared to everything else we're drawing. I'm going to put some bones in the yard because I think that'll look spooky. If you want to draw a monster or a skeleton or something like that, you can draw that also. I'm going to do some lines here and there to show the grass. So again, I'm adding more textures by using different lines and shapes to show how each surface is a little bit different. And then I think on this side, I will put some gravestones and add some texture in front of them so it looks like dirt. I think this one, I'm going to draw a hand coming out. So we have a zombie coming up out of the ground. Some other things you might want to add are like a broken fence or a gate. Maybe you want some bats in the sky or some pumpkins out front. However you want to decorate your Halloween haunted house, you can. I'm going to leave my haunted house like this for now. And I am done with my pencil. I'm going to grab my Sharpie and I'm just going to trace over all of my pencil lines. Once I'm done tracing my pencil lines, I'm going to use my eraser and erase any pencil lines that I can still see. If you don't have a Sharpie at home, like I said before, you can trace your picture using a dark colored crayon or colored pencil. You could also use any kind of pen or marker. Once I finished tracing my picture with my Sharpie, I went in with my eraser and I erased all the pencil lines that I could still see. The next thing I'm going to do is start to color. So with my crayons, I'm going to color in my picture fully, making sure I don't leave any white space and I stay inside the lines as best as I can. Now, since I wanted my picture to be at night, since I drew that moon in the sky, I'm going to use a lot of dark colors to fill in my picture and make it look more like nighttime. You can decide what setting and what time of day would be best for your picture and try and pick colors that would match that type of weather. So if it is bright and sunny, you'll probably want some brighter colors in there. If it's nighttime or it's stormy and it's dark, you're going to want to use some darker colors. that is my haunted house all finished. I colored in all of the different sections of my house fully. I didn't leave any white spaces, and I tried to stay inside the lines as best as I could to make sure it was my absolute best coloring. I used a bunch of different darker colors on my house and in the background to make it look more like nighttime. I didn't want the sky to be fully black because I thought that would make my picture look a little too dark, so I just used a dark blue instead. But since I made all the other colors dark, I think it still looks pretty nighttime light. Once you're finished with your project, save it in your art folder, and we're going to share it on our next live stream. I can't wait to see the awesome haunted houses you guys have created. Try your best, have fun, and get creative. And happy Halloween! I'll see you soon. Bye!